I'll give a correction. It has happened like in qualifiers, but I don't think it's happened in a league in a while. Like it happens for like lower level players than this, where they're still perfecting. Like here, it's so little to improve upon that it's really hard to find that.
I think we did have one player in this league, PB. I forget who it was, but they were very close to sub hour. They got a 1:00:01
Yeah, those in the qualifiers. Those
speed. Yeah, speed.
speed. Yeah.
Hmm.
What was it actually? Speed in the league as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was
Okay.
it was
Okay.
in the league during one of his races.
Okay. And strap. Okay. Okay. It happens. I didn't realize it happened this recently.
All right, we're off to the races here.
I just realized for the fundraiser, is it possible I can get the Tiltify link, Saren? Just drop in the restream chat or something. Just so I can like read any of the donations that come through.
Alright, both almost frame for frame here in the frog room. Yeah, pretty much. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. They're both very similar here in the frog room, doing the same strats and essentially the same movement.
Yeah, Cap Kingdom is, been pretty much the same for a while. That was two different types of left sides, though, so there you go.
Yes, one going with the vault and the other going with the triple jump.
Yeah, BusterDoggy gonna have a slight lead, but minimal. Yeah, there's not really very much you can do here at the top level. It's the same route the whole way through. And yeah.
Yeah, basically the only differences you see are how they do left side and maybe a few frog vectors.
Yeah.
Both clean out of cap into Cascade. I think Dansta might try DSS as we did see him practice it before the race started.
Mm-hmm.
He's been one of the few people that have gone for it in the tournament. Most of the players have been opting to not go for it for safety's sake.
Yeah, Dansta has been going for it in races. Our head, I can't really switch up the head-to-head for some reason, so I just kind of looking at a sheet, looking at the tricks page, and so it was a little bit defined, but I found it. And Dansta gonna fail on their first attempt, and yeah, gonna set back up for it.
Ooh, that.
I don't know how that still landed despite that iffy wall jump.
That wall jump, I did not expect that to work. I am very surprised that Dansta got that to work. I mean, not mad about it at all. I mean, second try can save time.
In this case, it really didn't, and it just kind of evened out.
Buster is like maybe a second ahead right now. Happens often recently. Oh. Well, I mean, if it happens often, Dansta might know how to recover from it, but I agree with Troy, and when I saw that wall jump, I was like, not expecting it to work.
Mm-hmm. I figured they lost some height, and they were not going to be able to reach the ledge anymore.
Yeah, because that ledge that you need to stand on in order for DSS to work is only a couple of pixels.
Yep, it's very small.
Okay, so BusterDoggy here going for the above a high clip moon, where Dansta is going for the chest clip.
Ooh, okay.
Oh! Okay.
A little bit low, but it's recoverable.
Yeah, so what happened to Dansta is he got out of bounds correctly, but he wasn't able to get his cap jump correctly and ended up kind of falling into the water out of bounds. Luckily, you can up throw and globe like you saw him do, so it's not a huge time loss, but it's not going to save him as much time as it would have.
It ends up actually, I believe, just making it so it doesn't save any time.
Probably depends
Like,
on how
as
fast
opposed
you recover it, you know.
to the top
Dansta
ledge.
was able to recover it pretty quickly, so it's probably
Yeah,
happened to
but
him.
you still got the BusterDoggy lead because of it.
Yeah, we saw Buster take a very clean, he had a very clean cascade, but he also had a very safe cascade. He did dino skip and he did above a high cliff. That is like the standard like mid-level runner route. Buster is by no means a mid-level runner. He's a
Not at all.
top level runner. But you see him going for this route for the consistency. Because he knows he has to play clean if he wants to beat him.
Yeah, he's the only one at this level who does both. Who doesn't do DSS or chest clip.
Well, I mean, I'm sure in PB attempts he would.
Right, in the race though, like the only other people doing that are Speed, Shemcat, and Sledge. And we got a manual DST coming out from Dansta. Makes sense actually.
I didn't actually think Dansta lost that much time in order to miss his window. I'm not sure how big his is, but
Typically with reverse town it is a 645, I believe. Or something like that.
I think it depends on what he had his offset as well, which I'm not sure. Okay, so Dansta, they're going for the bird. He was unable to get a stall. Ooh.
Yeah, missing
got a bit of a
bird
value
twice.
dive. Yeah, so this is not the start of... Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, giving BusterDoggy good lead here. Good 2 moons ahead, pretty much, as they go into Sandram.
Essentially, yes. Alright, let's see this. Reverse Jaxie. Very good.
Well, I don't really consider it done until they get through to the bullet bill manipulation. Because this movement is based on timing. You gotta be getting the timing correct in order for the bullet bill to be where it needs to be. And there it is.
I would try and refresh your page. Yeah, I guess that's fair, Troy. You know, they could just die in the purple poison when they dive off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also more of just making sure they get up the pillar and then back. It's specific movements to and like how long you're in certain spots for the bullet bill to go in a certain way. I don't even know the specifics of it. You just kind of be like, okay, if you do this movement like this, it works. And you
Very
can't really
good
fall
notes.
too much far. You can't really fall off of that by much.
Both of them had great notes, Moons. Single throw. You've never watched an SMO speedrun IFO? Well, you got a great one here. You have two very top level runners battling it out. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Dansta. Sand can be a pain in the butt sometimes. So 10-17 for BusterDoggy. $10.26 for Dansta, so Buster's about 9 seconds ahead. Welcome in, Shimcat. So Troy, what are you expecting coming up here in Lake Kingdom?
I'm expecting a lake clip.
Okay then.
It's lake clip. Lake Kingdom's pretty simple.
That's fair. Buster looks like about third try late clip. Dansta first try. Dansta missed DSS on the first try and had a little bit of a rough start to Sand, but he's only about 9 seconds behind, so you know, anything can happen.
I would definitely attribute the time loss to Sand Kingdom. Just had some trouble with the Hyana bird. Anything before that just kind of evened out, so they were just kind of tied up until then.
Yeah, it was evened out because Buster did the much safer strats, or Dansta did the I'm gonna save a second, but it's much harder strats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, it's by no means decided. Anything can happen. So I'm guessing Dansta is going to save a few seconds over Buster because he did get late clip on the first try and Buster got it on the third try. Yeah, about a 5-second difference from lake exit. So Dansta made up about 4 seconds in lake. Now tell me, Troy, are you scared for this wooded?
Why would I be scared? I have nothing to worry about. I'm just watching.
You know, sometimes, you know, you can get invested in things. Saren's scared.
Yeah, Saren's scared. There's some dark stuff in this wood. A lot of shadows going on. I can see it. But yeah, there's some tough tricks.
Okay, RTA Dan is scared as well, so, you know.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm here for you.
Wooded is definitely a run killer. And Any mistakes, no matter how small, can be punishing. Okay, I won't, Mulan. Your secret's safe with me. Excellent out of bounds movement there from Buster. Dansta also had a great nut clip. Great ramp climbs equally. Alright, so you saw BusterDoggy get that checkpoint there. Looks like Dansta tried to get it, but he missed it and didn't go back for it. That checkpoint is purely for safety reasons. You don't need it for the route. You only need it if you die. And you see all of these caps there? Those are all death. So if they mess something up like that and they don't have the checkpoint, they go all the way back to the shop at the beginning of the kingdom. But with that checkpoint, they guarantee themselves a much closer spot. Luckily, neither of them needing it.
Yeah, FRS usually works out at this level, but it's always good to take, especially in races.
It's not only FRS, but when you're going to that hidden nut around the corner, sometimes you can just dive off the edge. I've seen it before.
I could see it. And BusterDoggy missing the buffer jump as opposed to Dansta got it, so that is going to close the gap a little bit.
Oh, it's more than 20 seconds, PsioNIck. Way more than 20 seconds, because they have to make their way all the way up to the top of the kingdom. I've never seen someone make a mistake in Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. No, that's just pure cap.
Oh, and Dansta going for 1.5 cycle, and that is almost completely catching them up at this point. Let's see if they can finish it out, and that should
That looks
help
good.
a lot, yeah.
Maybe
Not
1 second, 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, you can do that. You can get up to that last moon without a wall grab at all. So wasn't quite the fastest of the fast pipes, but was pretty close.
And it was faster than the cycle that BusterDoggy used.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay, we are 1.5 seconds apart now.
Yep, about 1.5, 2 seconds.
Keep in mind, button mashing can become a factor during these cutscenes between kingdoms.
Absolutely. Got those fast fingers. There's one runner of this game, Hey There Cool, who's pretty much famous for how fast he can mash.
Whoa, that cloud boost! That was a great cloud boost from Buster.
Getting a good cloud boost is so satisfying. BusterDoggy got the hint art, so did Dansta. Ooh, but Buster actually did miss the first hat here in the fast hats, and he had to wait for Bowser to throw them. Whereas Dansta got it, the fast hat. So we're almost frame for frame right now.
The hint
That's hint
seems...
art, like 2 seconds?
Yeah, about 2 seconds. 1 to 2 seconds, because all you're saving is having to hit a ground pound for a different hint art. So the ground pound is unnecessary because it can just, they can just find the hint art here while a cutscene is, essentially a cutscene is happening. It's like a cycle that they can't speed up.
Exactly. It replaces the hint art in the pool in Metro Kingdom on the rooftop. Okay.
Dansta having to redo their meme tree.
Luckily, he didn't die.
Yeah. I mean, butterfly moon. That's where you really gotta worry.
Oh yeah.
Single jump there for the butterfly, which is really risky, but the most optimal movement, and making it work.
Lost is another kingdom where if you die in the wrong place, you end up back at the Odyssey, and not only do you have to make your way back, but you have to worry about Klepto.
You have to jump in the same way. Dansta doing Kleptomaniac, gonna save a little bit of time with that. Really cool strat where you don't even have to go up to Klepto. You can kind of just barely hit their trigger. Oh, and Dansta missing reverse torpedo though.
BusterDoggy.
Okay, that's gonna help actually for Dansta. BusterDoggy taking a death on the way to the moon underneath this bridge. This moon's actually really difficult to do after a death because you kind of can't recover it. Like you have to take the death pretty much. There are ways to do this deathless, but it's just safer to die because like no one really knows the movement because you typically don't want to end up in that situation anyway.
And also, you saw BusterDoggy take an intentional death there, and the reason is if you jump back on top of that part of the bridge, Klepto will steal your hat, and you can't leave until you get it back from him.
Right,
that's just what I was. And it's a whole big thing.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's just safer to die. Like, there is a way to survive, like to get back on top on land there, but it is movement that people aren't as familiar with because you can't land on the bridge. You have to land on the regular stuff.
Yeah, I would say BusterDoggy maybe lost like 10 seconds-ish there.
Yeah, it flipped back over to it flipped over to Dansta lead, and now we have about an 8.5 second lead. So
right, even though Dansta missed reverse torpedo, that death from BusterDoggy gave him the lead.
Yeah. Still remaining very close. I would not be surprised if we saw another lead shift in this kingdom.
Yeah,
that was a really tight Goomba Fudge.
Yeah, when I'm commentating, I will often call it Goomba Heck.
I believe, yeah, that's the most common one, but I've started to be like, no, Goomba Fudge is way better.
That's fair. Coming into our Mecha Wiggler fights. Let's see how good their shooting is.
Dansta, one of the people who's very familiar with the different patterns. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking it's Travis. I don't know why I thought Dansta was Travis. Although I'm sure he's looked at the sheet a few times. So
I mean, you can't have a low 58 without being very familiar with all of the patterns. That's just not possible.
Well, I mean, we didn't know about all the patterns until this year, so.
Great shooting from Dansta.
That worked very well. Buster getting a few loops though. That's unfortunate. Yeah, oh, segment at the back and the front. Okay, is able to make it work, but yeah, that was... Yeah, it was... Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you don't have them like. Yeah, Dansta, you've played so much, and you've like been familiar with all of them, but just kind of like. Yeah, you never had like a physical mental note of of which one is which. You just kind of knew them because of how much time you've spent in this game. Makes sense.
Right, it plays into that kind of muscle memory. So Buster did get a little bit of a worse cycle than Dansta did, and his shooting wasn't as great, probably in relation to the cycle being bad. So lost him slight bit of time there.
Kind of an iffy line on the way to the first dram from BusterDoggy as well.
You know, I was looking at that too, and I was like, is he going to the end of this scaffolding? I was like, am I missing something?
It just looked like a missed input. And then had to do some course correction. Oh, missing that spin throw into the pole there. There we go. Trash dram.
Welcome in, Danny Geffen.
So yeah, Dansta's lead has grown thanks to that Mecha Wiggler. Also, it does seem like BusterDoggy still is in the process of getting back into a flow state. They seem to be pretty good for now, but that, you know, the start of Day Metro was really what made me think that.
Yeah, you never know. He could be like eating a sandwich and then, you know, in the cutscene, and then when he had to pick up his controller, just, you know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Eating during your race would definitely be risky.
I mean, I've seen people do it before. Dance has been typing in chat this entire race.
Oh, racers do that all the time.
See, we got people in the chat vouching for eating during races.
During runs, yeah, but I don't know about during races. Oh, Buster with a weird dumpster moon there. How to readjust their jumps.
I mean, in the end, he made it work. It did look a little funky. That pool that Dansta's over right now has the hint art that he does not need because he got the one in Cloud.
Yep. You ground pound the moon in the pool. I've had trouble with it sometimes. When I was first finding it, because when I was first finding it, it's like it's kind of exact. A lot of the Luigi hint arts are like very precise.
Right, and the problem with the hint arts too is, unlike, you know, the hidden moons in the floor, there's rumble, but with the hint arts, there's no visual cues, there's no rumble, there's nothing. So you really have to know where you're looking to find it.
Just an image on the Nintendo's personal
Twitter.
It's also on the news section, actually, on the Switch. So you can find it within the Switch. You don't have to go off the system.
I think the majority of the public would just Google where to find hint arts in Mario Odyssey.
It was most likely an up throw row cancel. Most people do an up throw row cancel at the end of people's room.
Buster does use Joy-Cons though, so it's possible it was a down throw roll cancel.
Might have been.
I didn't see it, but he does use Joy-Cons, so it's possible.
I wasn't watching, so I don't know. I'm just saying that it's fairly common to see an up throw roll cancel there.
Yeah, neither comms saw it. I was just commenting on the fact that it's possible it could have been a down throw.
Yep.
And you know, if you use Joy-Cons, you go, hey, you gotta take advantage. The majority of speedrunners do use the Pro Controller, but there is a small percentage that use Joy-Cons.
Don't believe that's gonna clip. Yeah, that's not gonna work fair for Dansta. Gonna remain inbounds.
It's almost like the game wants you to stay in bounds. Crazy, right?
Crazy. I can't tell for BusterDoggies because they do it from an angle where I can't see like if they're in or out. Like usually I can do it if like the walls face like in the camera sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But neither of them getting that clip. It is not by no means a vital clip. You can just take the intended way into this room.
Yep.
Just slightly faster.
Just about a second. BusterDoggy not getting a spiny manip there. Just going to the casual way of doing that essentially.
Which is also fine.
Yeah.
You know. Sometimes I feel bad. I'll criticize runners for not getting like this insanely hard trick, and then I think about it. I'm like, Allison, you realize how hard this is, right?
Yeah. Okay, good Goomba vectors from Dansta. BusterDoggy having a little bit of trouble with these Goombas, but get some good vectors in there nonetheless.
Yeah, the placement of those Goombas is one of the few places of RNG that are in the run, so that can make a slight difference on how you approach things. Nice pipe suck. Setup-less. First try.
Don't need a setup.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need it, but it's easier with it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm saying Dansta doesn't need a setup. I need a setup.
BusterDoggy apparently doesn't need a setup either.
Nope.
Both had very good snowdrams there, no issues. We're looking about a 12-13 second difference.
question of how are they doing compared to their PBs. It's kind of these are runs. Like they're not on pace for anything. It's just they're not terrible runs. I feel like if you know nothing else goes wrong for these players, I think they'll be happy with these both of their times in the race.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit hard to tell, but if you type exclamation mark SMO stats in the chat like I just did, and you go to the head-to-head portion of the spreadsheet, there is a section where you can look at their splits, and you can see their BPT and how far apart they are. So that's a good place to look if you want to kind of see what their pace is, if you know how to read their splits well. And it's definitely helpful for people like Troy and I.
Yeah. Although, yeah, the stat sheet is having a little bit of trouble, but it still has some function right now.
From what I see, it looks pretty updated to me, but for at least for the head-to-head portion.
Yeah, both of them getting fish dip. Really nice to see. Yeah, I'm thinking that Matt's probably changed the head-to-head because they can do that from mobile, but they weren't able to fix the script, which is what's causing the problem. So, right now, only Matt can change this entire sheet. Well, even though there are other people who do stats, like myself and Dansta. But yeah, I believe Matt's is the only one who can edit this sheet right now, which is... Or, like, can edit, like, protected parts of the sheet. I can still add stuff. I could say hi to you. I could say hi to whoever's watching the stat sheet if I wanted to.
Well, you can already say hi to everyone who's watching.
Nah, I just meant within the sheet. But... but yeah, it's most, you know, like, the cells that matter, I can't edit right now.
But if you're looking to get an idea as to how this tournament's been going, what good splits are, definitely check out that stat sheet. There's a lot of good information in there. So what do you think's gonna happen here, Troy? What do you think we're gonna see?
We're gonna jump around a thing. Buster's gonna nearly die to salt triple. And,
Are you sure we're gonna jump around a thing?
Yes.
For both?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Dansta tried to jump around the thing, but...
It definitely tried, yes.
Didn't quite get it. Did end up very narrowly cutting into the corner of the trigger zone for this spirit fight. So that is going to throw off his route, and he's going to have to use the traditional route.
Yeah, Dansta kind of thrown off by that. You can see how they feel in that webcam of theirs. Yeah, Buster gonna be saving. I think it's like anywhere for like 20 seconds.
No, it's not that much.
Nah, it can do a lot, but it's usually not.
That's the first time it ever happened to you in an important race. Damn.
Usually around 10.
Yeah, 10 is closer. But that is contingent on Buster getting a lot of hard tricks, getting the black triple, getting the lava boosts. He has to get all of those in order to save that time.
Yeah, the lava boosts aren't too bad, I don't think. It's the invisible lock jump that really is the hardest part. I will also say, like, just doing this quickly is also troublesome. Like, the turnip movement. The movement from getting turnip, a turnip from the top of the cliff, right after the sporks room, all the way to the pot, which Dance is at right now, and doing it quickly. That is difficult.
Right. You know, you really see, if you watch people run all moons in 100%, you can see them juggling turnips expertly, but people who run predominantly short categories, where you don't see the turnips as much, you know, they're not as familiar with how to juggle things.
And say, I look like Buster is ahead here. I mean, which he probably is. I mean, actually, no, not even yet. It's still probably round tied, given how much of a lead Dansta had going into this kingdom. But yeah, you got to be paying attention to that moon count in the top left corner, and because Dansta did spew it, he does have one more moon than Buster would at that point in the route. But Buster is a little bit ahead, so the moons count is pretty much staying even right now.
Right. With different kingdom routes, I'm always hesitant to say who's ahead until they actually finish the kingdom.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
So
yeah, it's definitely difficult to tell. I recall saying things before of like ways to figure it out, but that was right when Spiritless had like just started to become adopted, so it was much more common to see it mixed in Luncheon, but I kind of forgotten that because it doesn't happen as much anymore.
fair. I'm just gonna take the safe answer and say I'm not gonna give a comparison as to how far apart they are until they both leave Luncheon.
Yeah. But the moon count does give somewhat of a good idea.
True.
Yeah, Dansta ended up jumping into the arena, or well, hitting the loading zone for the spirit fight.
Correct, Squashy. Dansta barely hit the loading zone. Alright, BusterDoggy got a good Invisiblock triple jump there, only activating one of the blocks to stand on.
And then you'll see things even out here. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to be almost tied by the end of this, because there's a lot of cutscenes that go on after getting this multi-moon. And that's what... Yeah, that's essentially what you're avoiding. A lot of the newer stuff that happens in this game is just avoiding all of these cutscenes that happen at the end of story moons.
However, the one good thing of getting multi-moons, like Dansta just got here, is that it gives you a free warp back to the Odyssey.
Yes. But you get a lot of cutscenes with it. Dansta actually might be ahead thanks to that just the one bonk from Buster on the way up to the Scarecrow. And yeah, that is true. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I that would have been... That might have been a tie otherwise, you know, but yeah, thanks to some really jank movement for the Scarecrow timer, that is gonna keep Dansta in the lead. And the lead actually like stays about the same, which is like as when they got into the kingdom, which is kind of crazy, meaning that was a pretty messy luncheon from Buster. Like it wasn't incredibly messy, but I'm sure, like, by their standards,
it didn't look that bad to me, but...
It didn't look that bad up until... I think the last moon was really the problem. But, like, that's what I mean. Like, that part right there is, like, probably what is not gonna sit well with BusterDoggy. They're gonna be like, should have been able to have that. And yeah, also the start of Luncheon, right? So the start and the end of Luncheon were a bit troublesome for BusterDoggy.
Ironically, what would be considered the easiest parts, like the Invisiblock and stuff, like flawless.
Salt Triple's hard, okay?
It is, yes, but it's been around a lot longer and used a lot more than the Invisiblock has.
take this time to remind everybody while we're just doing a boss fight. It's kind of a similar boss fight. That we are currently in the middle of a fundraiser for Urban Arts. You can do !! Donate in the chat to go to the Tiltify link. Supporting Urban Arts. We've got what's the goal of that thing? Does it say the goal thing or no? Does it say what 520
looks
does?
like on the
yeah,
screen
okay.
it says 520 USD.
Yeah, and 520 will get it's a drawing tablet milestone. So I'm guessing that means they'd be able to buy a drawing tablet for one of their students.
Gotcha. Yes, this tournament is sponsored by Urban Arts, which is an excellent organization which helps young adults get into careers with video game design who are generally seen as underprivileged. Half of those people being women. So they are a great organization. They sponsored the prize pool for this tournament as well as the Super Mario 64 tournament. So if you want to show them some love, go check out their link, !UA, if you just want information on the organization. If you want to donate, !donate.
And yes, they did have a student at one point that they interviewed in one of the commercials that's named Mario. That happened.
If you see the user Jason Urban Arts around, make sure to give him some love.
Mm-hmm. Gap did close a little bit in that kingdom, by about 2 seconds, but the reason why we talk during that kingdom is usually because you're not expecting a lead change.
Exactly.
There's just like not enough leeway in that kingdom for a bunch of anything to happen unless you royally mess up.
Yeah. It's pretty rare for runners of this level to have a major meltdown in the Rune Kingdom. The only real meltdowns they would have is they would either die or they would miss a cycle and have to wait it out, but that would be very rare at this level.
Oh, okay. Dansta gonna mess up the triple jump. He's gonna be able to save this with some wall jumps over here, but that is gonna lose a lot of time.
So that does give BusterDoggy a very slight lead.
Yep, so there is that. There is a lead shift that hasn't happened for the last 5 kingdoms. Pretty much half of the run. Dansta is in the lead, and now that one simple mistake, Buster is back in it.
Right. And, it is a very small lead, and, anything can really happen here in the Bowser's Kingdom.
Yeah, I honestly think it could switch back on Shard's Moon, honestly, right here.
It could switch back on Shards, it could switch on Bunnies, it could switch on Mech. Or could stay the same. Or get wider, That's the beauty of a live race, you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, okay, Dansta gonna get a weird roll on the way towards the birdless, and gonna have to capture the bird because of it. Birds are, the AI was in a weird spot because of the different movement than they were used to.
Right, yeah, so now BusterDoggy's gonna have lengthened his lead a little bit as he did get the birdless strat there on the 5th shard where Dansta did have to capture the bird. Zarbomba attempt from BusterDoggy. Very good. Dansta also did Zarbamba there. Both of them are Harriet first gamers.
Thank you for the raid from Menace Mom. A CCG team person. The name. I don't know. They're sponsored by CCG. They're one of the streamers for CCG. I know how to speak languages. one language, English.
Welcome
Team
in,
person,
Raiders,
yes.
from Menace Monk's stream. We are here with the SMO Any League. BusterDoggy versus Dansta. You are here at its excellent park here in the Bowser's Kingdom. We have a very close race.
With many lead changes that have happened. And honestly, that could happen again. But for now, BusterDoggy is in the lead, just by a few seconds, though. Yeah. Interesting that Dansta went for that checkpoint flag, even though they were done with the bunnies. It does lose time, but I don't think it loses that much time. I think they pretty much evened out.
I think his intention was probably to avoid the health refill on the moon grab. Because when you activate checkpoints, it does heal your health. So I think he was hoping from the distance it took him to get to the checkpoint to the multi-moon, it would heal his health so he wouldn't have to wait when he got the moon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking too, but it was... the health regen is only about 2 seconds, and that was the time they did to get the checkpoint was about that. So usually what you do, if you're going to get that checkpoint flag, like it's between bunnies, because you don't want to end up having...
Usually if they get the checkpoint in between bunnies, they're worried about dying.
Yeah.
Buster did have a little bit of trouble getting that first bubble, but he's looking pretty good so far other than that.
BusterDoggy messed up on Harriet's third, and so had an awkward
dear. Oh my god.
Still got a ledge grab though. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Gotta get launched off.
Oh no.
Gotta pause. Okay, no longer fine. Okay, this is if Dansta gets this target acquired, that is gonna be them in the lead, and that is a target acquired.
Okay, yeah, that was something. I apologize for screaming, chat. That was just me panicking a little bit. BusterDoggy did his darndest to stay on that mech. He had a ledge grab, he was hanging on for dear life. Unfortunately, he could not get that ground pound off.
Yeah, Dansta is going to take the lead with that, but honestly, Buster was able to recover that somewhat quickly. And so it is still... It still is possible for Buster to win this one. It's still under like 20 seconds, I would say.
Yep, it's still possible for sure. It definitely threw a wrench in things. Falling off the mech at any point.
Not many people were expecting that, if anyone, really.
I think you can tell by my reaction that I was not.
Only like 5 seconds. Okay. It probably is that small, but it was just I was being generous, given like not knowing for sure.
When I first saw Buster miss his ground pound into the last brutal, I saw him get the ledge grab, and that's when I started panicking, and it was moving all around, and you can barely see Mario. You even saw him, after he started falling off, go into the pause menu And that was probably instinct for a reset, is my guess.
And so, yeah, according to the stat sheet, we are at about a 6-second lead for Dansta.
Right, yeah, 6 seconds can definitely be made up. Dansta needs to play a Clean Moon Kingdom.
Yeah, it can be made up pretty much anywhere. Yeah, different messing up on Mooncave Skip or messing up on Fast Hats. Like, it can happen. Oh, BusterDoggy misaligning their triple jump should be able to save that.
Okay,
Never mind.
Nope, not saving it.
Moon gravity is weird, and so I like assume that pretty much any fall you can save because moon gravity is really, really forgiving because of it. You know, you can just jump off Cappy and like get a ton of height. But yeah, unfortunately, just was not able to make that work that time.
That is gonna lose Buster a couple more seconds.
A few more.
So now he's gonna need Dansta to make an even bigger mistake. However, gamers, even if you say, you know, the decision's decided, part of the point system for this tournament is how close you get to your opponent. So, Buster wants to get as close to Dansta as he can, or vice versa. Oh no, okay.
No, that's
not fine, not fine,
that is another death. We are probably at about a minute difference now.
Yeah. So that's exactly what Buster did not want. And this is the kind of, you know, proof where once you make one mistake, it just kind of cascades in on you.
Yeah, you could. It's your mental state can be taken advantage of.
I think what probably happened with Buster there is, you know, he got to the top of the Mooncave Skip. However, when he went to jump across to the bridge, he didn't have his cap jump yet. And then, since he didn't have his cap jump, he ended up dying. Oh no.
Now going for single wall jump and not succeeding on it. Take a deep breath before attempting it again.
Yep. You got this, Buster. If you're listening to us, you got this. Finish strong. We believe in you. Anything can happen. Remember, you want those points. I don't even know if Buster's listening, but I'm gonna pretend like he is. World record is finished. That's correct. However, getting world record in a tournament in as optimized a game as Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent is very slim.
Also not possible by either of these runners right now. Neither of these runners are capable of getting world record.
Yep.
They are capable of getting it, certainly, like their skill is there, but they don't have the strategies to be able to do it. They would need to add a few more quick steps. And also get over the mental barrier of still not having a 57.
Buster go for 2DSS. I mean, he might. I mean, I'm not gonna say he won't.
Don't know why I add the words still, by the way, there. Just don't have them. That's all I meant.
Yep, Tyrone does DSS. Triple X in this tournament also goes for 2DSS. There are a few people that are consistent at it, and I mean a few, very literally.
Yeah. Dude, BusterDoggy also gonna mess up on Fast Hats. Gonna have to roll over to Bowser. I believe that this is on the last hit for Bowser as well.
Alright, we got Dansta here in the Cat Jams Pillars room. Please get some Cat Jams or any various jam emotes you have in the chat room. Dansta is looking like sub-hour pace here. It looks like 59-52 for Dansta, taking the win. Gee heckin' geez. Now we have BusterDoggy just finishing out, coming into the players' room. Remember, he is going to want to get as close to Dansta's time as possible to get him the most points.
Yeah, still gonna be about a 2-minute gap though, so at least like 20 points happening right now. Probably around 20 points they're gonna get. It's a point for every 10 seconds. So
correct. Yep. 2 minutes would be 12.
12 points off. So.
Alright, you can throw some more cat jams in the chat, if you please. For BusterDoggy's Pillars Room, looking like a 101 for him. And that really combination that BusterDoggy probably could have sub-houred. He could have sub-houred all the way up until the beginning of Moon Kingdom. And that's really where things went downhill. It's like a 101.23 from BusterDoggy by my calculations. GG's to him as well. You can throw some drakes, some clap emotes, whatever you got. We have Dansta here in our commentary waiting booth. I'm not sure if we're gonna get BusterDoggy or not. $69.21. Nice. Can we get some nices in the chat?
Okay, we got Dansta joining us now.
Welcome in, Dansta Gamer. Congratulations on your victory. How are you feeling about this run?
Oh, I was muted, sorry. Very lucky. Very lucky. Buster could have definitely won it. Like, that's the second time in a row now that I was very close with my opponent into Moon, and then I'm just, like, they make huge mistakes there. I also had a bad Moon, but, like, if he just got a good Moon, I would have lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Were you... I know you were typing in the chat. What was your reaction when you saw him fall off mech?
I mean, you know, you don't want it to happen, of course, but technically you do, so... I was relieved. Because I was like, okay, I still have a chance. And I was like, okay, 5 seconds, that's like, I need to play good. And then when I didn't look at the screen at the time because I was just like moving myself. But when I heard you saying Buster fell and died, that's when I was like, okay, just gotta play it safe.
Yeah, it took 2 deaths in Moon Kingdom.
Yeah, I heard, but like the first one already like made me feel like, oh yeah, okay, just play it safe. And that was my worst race so far. And it's still a sub-hour, so we're still on the full sub-hour grind.
Yeah, there definitely were some messy parts of that. I know Luncheon was definitely a part that you were not happy with.
Luncheon was horrible, Bunnies was horrible, Moon was horrible. I don't know if you even noticed, but I missed Bowser phase in Moon. Oh. And
Sure,
of course,
I don't think I noticed. I was too preoccupied with what was happening with BusterDoggy.
Yeah, I think he was, probably.
And of course the start.
Escape attempts.
Of course the start as well. I was like, 27 seconds behind my PB out of sand already.
Right, yeah, you did a manual DSTA, which both of us didn't realize that you were cutting it that close for it. Like, I thought, I didn't realize it at all.
I use -40, which works up to like a 516, which like I won't get better than that in a race. But technically, that works up till there. And the nice thing usually is if I don't make any other mistakes other than like one DSS mistake, it still works. But as I also didn't have the best cap and messed up chest clip a bit, I was just slightly too slow.
I figured it was like borderline.
Also,
I was slightly surprised
for
that you
DSS, that thing, it happens to me so often. Like I knew that it was gonna work, and I knew it, and when it happened, that you were gonna be like, "Oh, how did that work?"
You can predict us too well, huh?
Yeah, that was so obvious because not many people know it.
Well, we did hear from BusterDoggy. He does have to go somewhere else, but thank you and GG again for him for the race. Dansta, do you have any parting words to Buster about your run? Anything else you want to share with the class?
GG.
Fair enough. Gamers, do not go far. We do have, I believe, another race coming up, not of SMO, but something else, if someone can confirm that. I believe I saw question mark.
Yeah, we got a Paper Mario showcase. I forgot which Paper Mario. Hold on, I have the schedule. Super Paper Mario showcase happening, and we still got the fundraiser going. So exclamation point donate in the chat if you want to donate to it. It's great cause. People are reading out the donos if you do them. You can also follow the runners and the commentators, exclamation racers, exclamation comms in the chat. So follow all of us. Yeah. Thank you
Also, shout outs to Saren Mew, wonderful restreamer. All right, gamers, don't go far! Exclamation mark! Donate in the chat. If you're able, please donate to Urban Arts. They are an excellent organization, and we'd love to meet our goal. Like we said, don't go far. We got Paper Mario Showcase coming up, and thanks again.